was a very stubborn boy, first of all.
See, this is why it just reminded me why I started this, because sometimes we don't know the person's story.
Both my mom and my dad, and they were not married when they got it. They never actually got married.
Okay. Hello, welcome back to the Talk with Ebun podcast, and this is the journey. I am so excited to be having a second episode. I still need to be pinching myself to say this podcast has come alive, because if anyone knows me, they know that I am a big procrastinator, but we are thankful that this has happened. And today, I just hope that you will enjoy this episode, because there is so much juice in today's episode. And our guest is just fabulous. Let me not even go into that. But he is a young, vibrant gospel artist. He is diligent. He is excellent in all his works. Like, if you see him, you know that he's so creative. Let me give you a hint. So was it in April? April, he had his major. I'll call it a major concert. Maybe to him it might be little, but it was a shutdown. Like, the place was packed full. People came, they enjoyed themselves. It was amazing. And I know by now you should know who I'm talking about. And my guest for this episode is no other person but an amazing gospel artist, Francis Lance. You are welcome. You are welcome. I am so honored to be having you here on the podcast. I have seen you grow. And I know sometimes I just tell you that you're doing well. I may not tell you this all the time, but I admire you from afar. I have seen you grow. I have seen every work that you put out there. You put it with excellence, even when you were starting. Maybe to you, you may think that it was not good, but we were seeing how you were intentional about it. And I think for me that speaks volume, and that's why I respect you. Sometimes, like, this guy, he's big for his age. Like, he's so matured for his age. And Francis, we had a conversation, and whilst you were sharing your story, I was just overwhelmed by everything, and I was like, see, this is why it just reminded me why I started this, because sometimes we don't know the person's story. We just see the glamour, we just see the finished product. But until we hear the beginning of their story and where they started from, then we begin to appreciate truly, their journey. And I am so grateful to have you. So I would love for you to, give us more intro. I know that you're doing so well in the creative space. You are also into media. He's not just a gospel artist guy. He's into media. He posts content. He does videography, photography. Like, he's just a talent. He's just talented like that. So yes. So tell us more about who Francis Lance is.
Okay, so
I know.
so mostly I just try to. It helps me a lot. I try to divide myself, and I keep telling people there's Francis Lansana and there's Francis Lance. So yes, so when you talk about the person you see on stage doing music, that's Francis Lance. But the person you see behind the scenes, designing flyers or taking photos, or engineering a podcast for someone, or filming, that's Francis Lansana, or mentoring other people and stuff like that. That's Francis Lansana. That's how I like to divide it. It helps my mind somehow. I don't know how, but it just helps my mind.
Yes.
Right. So that is just what I do. Basically, I just feel like God has deposited so much into me for me to just do one thing. I feel like that would be such a huge disservice to what God has deposited in me. So anytime I discover a new thing, I try to develop it behind the scenes, and then I come out with it. So
wow,
this is just how it is. I feel like there are more expressions that will come out as time goes on.
Okay.
With Jesus carries.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Francis Lansana. So there is different people. let us. So is the Lansana that you caught you shot in to Lance? Right. Okay. Okay.
That's a whole
right, a whole different story. So for another thing. Right. But today I want us to go back to the genesis of your story. You know, not the big Francis Lance that we are seeing on our screens. He's a celebrity guy. I'm so delighted to be sitting next to a celebrity. Wow. Yes. So how was your childhood experience like? I would really want us to explore that because I feel like that's where everything started.
I had a very interesting childhood. I was a very stubborn boy, first of all. As a kid, I still feel like I'm very stubborn, but then in a very different perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my stubbornness now is in the fact that when I make up my mind to do something, I'm stubborn in that sense. You get, yeah. Okay, but then as a kid, I was a very, very stubborn boy. Like stubborn, all out. I remember how sometimes they would be like, "You're not going out today to ball with the boys," and well, and my mom would go to FJ some days, like, and she would buy female stuff. Okay. And she would make me wear that so that I would not go to ball. But I'll still find a way out to go ball and find a way to pack that. And I'll come back home and they'll beat me. And I move again. There was this time that she sent me to do something for her. And so I was, like among children, right? It's not even about, there's power dynamics in every society, in every group you find yourself. And among children, the most powerful person is the most stubborn person. It's not necessarily the most powerful person. The most stubborn person is the person that becomes the most powerful. So I was that person. In my street. So, my mom sent me one time and she gave me money to do something. So I wanted to make sure I felt like the most powerful. So I took my guys, we went to buy juice. I bought juice for
hey, big boy thing.
I was chilling. 1 hour went by, 2 hours, and so on.
Wow.
And my mom, I think someone went to tell her, did you give this boy money because he's sponsored? I heard that. That's why. And they just set a trap for me that your dad is calling. And I ran, to talk to my dad. And I just had the door boom. I had the good thing of my life. Among other stories, I have so many crazy stories about my stubbornness. But I mean, that's just the fun part. So this is going to be the first time I'm saying this out publicly. But then I feel like God's timing is very, very perfect because this is something that is supposed to be in my album rollout. Okay. I mean, I'll share it again, but then I just feel like I want to say it here first time. And my debut album is coming out. So both my mom and my dad are not Christians. Okay. Right? And like they were not married when they got me. They never actually got married. Okay. So that's the nice way to say it. Right. Some people will say I was born out of wedlock, right? Kind of, yeah. So but God was very intentional about my growth. A lot of crazy things happened. But at that time, my aunt, my mother's sister, loved me so much. And she would go out with me everywhere, including church. So she was worshiping in ECG, Evangelical Church of the Gambia, and she would always take me along. My family, they're like Catholic, right? My granddad, grandma. But then they hardly used to go to church. You understand? So my aunt would always take me to church. So I grew up in ECG. I was in the New Dawn Children till around grade 3, thereabout. Then we moved. I moved with my grandparents. My dad left maybe a year or 2 or 3 after I was born. So we only used to talk on the phone. I mean, he went back to salon. My mom also got married to someone else, a Muslim, of course. Yeah. My dad went to salon, settled with another Muslim. So I think God was very intentional about me not staying with either of them because the story might have been different. Yeah. So I was in Busumbala, and I feel like I like to see Busumbala like my Egypt. Literally, like if you look at the story of Joseph, because I went through a lot of training there. Wow. So I lived with my grandparents for the rest of my life until I moved out a couple of years ago. And I had the chance to serve in church I had the chance to do a lot of things that people my age were not doing, because it was a village, a small place, and there was not a lot of exposure around in the church at that time, in the Catholic church there. So when I moved to Busumbala, obviously I moved from evangelical church to Catholic, because I'm with my grandparents now, right? So I got the chance to serve there, and I did a lot. Started the lectors ministry there, started the youth ministry there. Became coordinator of the lectures of the youth at different departments, so many other things. right. So I see God in all of those things, but I'm not gonna lie, right? A lot of things happened in my childhood that made me start questioning like myself, like, am I even supposed to be in this place? Because these two people said that brought me here. You understand that kind of thing, right? So that happened for a very long time in my life, until maybe a couple of years ago. We'll get to that also, when I got to appreciate my story more. But that was my childhood pretty much. The music side of it is that when I was in the New Dawn Children, right? And then I left with my grandparents. So when they did their album recording, I didn't have the chance to be part of that. And when they were launching, I really wanted to be there,
Right.
but my grandparents would not take me, right? Because they also had this kind of complex about me going to ECG and all that, at that time. But they were not even going to church, so my aunt used to take me. So they just helped me back. But because of that, my granddad was like, okay, this kid loves this music thing a lot. So he got me my first Walkman, and he got me their cassette like that they launched. So I used to listen to it, but I got tired of it. And then I started getting into my granddad's cassette rack. He had a huge cassette rack, and I would listen to a lot of music like Lucky Dube, Bob Marley, Burning Spears, Elton John, Baba Mal, Brenda Fassie, all of those. I used to listen to a lot of reggae music. He loves reggae a lot, and some old, beautiful African music, right? Although I didn't really know a lot about what they used to say and stuff, but I just enjoyed the vibe, and you understand. So I soaked into that kind of music a lot, and when I started having friends in high school and all of that, I started getting influenced by other types of music. But that's my childhood pretty much.
Wow.
In summary.
So then that's where I would say that's where the music started, because the love for music, because it has to start from somewhere. I feel like your grandpa unknowingly introduced you to music, for you to love it this much, and now you have come to this point.
I would not say he introduced me, to be honest. I loved music like since when I was like a little boy. So where we lived, right, there were other tenants there, all right.
Okay.
And there was this guy, Paul da Silva, with his siblings, Paul da Silva, Marta da Silva, Evanildo da Silva, and all that. They were there. They were da Silva from Guinea-Bissau, right? And they were also worshiping in ECG. And Paul would play the guitar with his brother. One of them used to play the keyboard. So I loved it a lot, and I even started building interest in it and learning at that time. But then, like I said, I was cut off from it. What I would say is God used my grandfather to strengthen the love of music in me. But the love was there already before even there. Because maybe if he did not get me all those things, that he got me and all of that, maybe I would not have. Because even after that Walkman got spoiled, he got another one. And then he got me an MP3 where they downloaded a lot of music from me, more than 200 songs. And that was like around 2008, 2009. It was songs like Vibes Cartel, them, Movado, them. Right. But I used to cram every song on that MP3, because MP3 used to be the deal. We didn't have access. If you want songs, right, you have to go to the internet cafe and pay for the cafe guys to download. So I had those songs like every day, and I would play that from Super Big. So I used to cram the entire MP3 and move, right. So yeah, God used him to strengthen that love for music that was in me, right. Yeah.
So let's talk about why gospel music. Why not secular music? Why not any other music but gospel? And did you start from gospel music?
Okay, so like my love for music happened and all of that, and I got into high school, and my friends started listening to rap. So because of that influence, I started listening to a lot of new age reggae. That is what they call dancehall, and a lot of rap music. I used to listen to Eminem and score his raps and finish. Like if you still play certain Eminem songs, I might be able to sing along word for word some of them. Maybe I might miss some lyrics because I've left those things behind a long time ago, right? Right. But I used to listen to a lot of rap music. And at some point I felt like, man, I'm scoring all these songs. I can actually write these things. And I used to read a lot too. I still read a lot. I'm still reading. I mean, although I don't really have the time to read how I used to read, but my childhood, because I didn't have time to go out. Like they would not allow me, few people and the whole speaking thing. Yeah. So I still have a pile of books at home that I left for my siblings. Okay. Right, my half brothers. So I love literature also in school and all of that. So I just felt like if I can score these people's raps and all of that, I can rap. Yeah. So I got to understand by instinct how they write music and all of that. And through that, I started writing in high school, right? And I was preparing for. We used to have high school rap battles, just us two friends. But I was preparing because there was this. That's this. He's still active, right? Killer Ace. Okay. He used to do this rap battle at Westfield that was nationwide and it was becoming really big, right? For rappers in different cities, and the winner would collect a lot of money and have a record deal and all of that. And I really wanted to win that when I was in high school. So I started preparing for that from I think maybe the last term of my 10th grade. I started preparing for that. So I was like, in my 12th grade, I'm going to do this. I'm going to write. So I prepared. And I filled like an entire ledger book, like, come on. Like, the registration books, right? Those big blue. Yeah, I filled it up with raps because I would imagine opponents and I'll start describing them and, how to murder them on stage and all that. So I used to write a lot of rap. When I'm not studying, I'm busy doing music. Even when I was in high school at that time. Okay. I just wanted to, it just happened, man. I don't know how it happened, but it just happened. Yeah, and I don't think I ever lost. I never lost a rap battle in school, even. Come on. Right, yeah. So I was really preparing for it, but something happened with Killer Ace. He released this certain song that he was dissing the president, so he had to fly the country, and the thing did not happen that year because that was the year I was supposed to finish school. Okay. Right. Okay. So the thing did not happen. Right. It was such a blow because I was really preparing for that. So after that, I was like, you know what? I should do. Let me gather these people and do a graduation song, for our school. But that project did not go through too because the what's the word? Not determination. The seriousness was not there, right? The kind of interest I had for it, the others did not have it. In terms of bringing money in, going to the studio, rehearsing and all of that. So that project did not go through. But I still had that. There was still that gap in my heart to do the music thing. So I started writing. I continued writing after high school. Okay. And then, I think I did one or two records. They were not gospel songs, obviously. I was not very. I was going to church. I was active in church. I was serving and all of that. But I don't think I met Jesus at that time. Yeah, I don't think like I really met Jesus on a personal level. I knew about him. Okay. I learned a lot of things about him, but we didn't have a personal relationship, right? And so I was just doing music, man. It was just I didn't even think that what I'm doing is bad or whatever. You know what that's right. So one of my guys, he had a group. They used to call themselves. One of them was Easy, the other one is Simple. Easy, Simple. I didn't coin there. So they were becoming kind of big, sick coin behind because they were also good. They had this 1-2 love songs they wrote, and people started knowing them around the girls. So there's this guy that got them on a record deal that just came from outside. I think he was from one of those European countries or the US. And he wanted more artists on the label. So my guy reached out to me that, bro, I'm just coming from the studio, man, blah blah blah. You've been asking me where I record my songs, blah blah blah. So I told Tosa that I know this guy, he's really good, man. Blah blah blah. So you should come over to the studio. I was like, when are you guys going? He told me, as I said, like, I'm gonna be there. So I told my people that I'm going out, blah blah blah. I lied, obviously. Right. I can't tell them. I remember the 2 songs that I did. I was playing the songs alone in my room, but I was so scared to let them know that I went to the studio to record. Right. So I just went to the studio. I met some other rappers. It was like an audition. Freestyle. It was a line. One person who rapped up when he started, he moved. And I just got to the studio and the guy was like, "Oh, this is the rapper, your brother. Okay, join the line." Wow. So that was it. I was the last guy on the line. And I remember when I got there, I rapped and rapped and rapped and finished the beat, and the next one came and I finished it. I was that was a lot of I do at some point, right?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of rapping, man, and he was so impressed, and he was like, "The producer is here." His name was Spider. Work with this guy, do whatever, and I would be in the studio those days in Costa Road till around 1, 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Wow.
Little boy, I was about 17, 18, and I walk home alone to Busumbala.
From Costa
Because
Road.
to get a car, there Costa Road area was like a village, literally.
Yeah.
I would walk all the way back home alone around 2, 3 a.m. because I became more serious than the guys that even took me there at some point. Right. So that was the music part, And I was working on an extended play, an EP. So after the EP was concluded, that's when I was supposed to now sit with them and then we have proper agreements on how the label deal will work and all of that. So I had this song that I wrote, but I hated singing so much. Anything that had to do with I just wanted to be hardcore and rap.
Right.
So I had this song that I needed to have a nice melody on, and I reached out to one of my boys that, bro, I need a lady that can sing a nice chorus. I've already written the chorus, and they're like, okay, I have this sister. Her name is Diana. You can come, and then yeah, maybe she would want to do it. So we met. I went to my boy's place. He had a studio set up, and then I taught the lady Diana how to do it. It was so easy. She did it. Blah blah. We became friends. She's a fine girl. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
So we became friends. Yeah, we became friends. And we became good friends. And we were doing. It was when QCell just came. Those QCell chatting.
Yes.
Right? So we used to chat a lot. And one day in our conversation, she was like, "Man, I think we should do gospel music, instead of this thing. Why do you want to be singing in the club and blah blah blah?" But I'm like, this girl, she doesn't even know what's happening, and blah, things like that. But funnily, around the time that I told her I was going to think about it, around the time that I was thinking about it, there's this woman that I like to call my godmother.
Okay.
Right. She used to help us a lot. She's like my friend's aunt, right? Auntie Mary Madeline.
Okay.
And she was in the Catholic Charismatic Renewal, right? And there was a camp, and she was like, she's paying for all of us, the young boys that used to camp Sikirbi, so that nobody would be idle. It was summer, and she took all of us, and that was where I had my first encounter with the Holy Spirit. So I was in the camp, and this experience is different. And when they were praying in tongues and doing all of that, I really decided to pray in tongues, but nobody also. When they said people should go out for laying of hands, I always felt like, because I'm a very shy person, right? But over the years, I've learned to know how to do what I have to do despite being shy. You understand, right? But then at that time, I still had not gotten to that point, so I used to feel shy to go out until the last day of the camp came and passed. I went home the way I got there. But they had a Thanksgiving for the camp. So we went home like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We had the Thanksgiving, and we went to Westfield Father Farrell Hall. We were there, and the prayer was going on. The hall was, I don't know how to explain the atmosphere in the hall. And I still had this desire, and I can't tell you exactly at what point I just went off. But I just knew something changed in that moment. And right. From the camp, we were chatting. I was like explaining my experience to her and all of that. I think we should do this gospel thing. So we started a group.
Okay.
That is how I got into gospel music. So I don't think I really did secular music.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, that's how I started gospel music.
Okay, so let's talk about, when we see you, we're just seeing the songs that you're doing. But during school, what field of study were you in? Because we want to know. I want to know.
Well, I'm an art student. I studied art.
Okay.
I'm an art student.
All right.
Right. And I'm an art student. I love everything language, everything literature. I don't have any interest in mathematics, and I'm not ashamed.
Right.
Right. Anything that has to do with count you out. I remember when I got to grade 12, it became so serious that when we had certain subjects, like I was good at technical drawing, but I'm not good for TD classes. I stayed back to do extra things in literature. and I would read even beyond the novels that they had because every batch had assigned novels and all of that.
Okay.
I would read even beyond that. So I enjoyed reading and all of that. So I spent most of my energy studying government history, right, literature, English language, and it even showed in my results, right? Yeah, everything that had to do with reading just count me out. Even agric science, we got to a point that I started losing interest in it because I used to enjoy agric science because of the reading, but when we started doing farm payroll and all of that, I'm like, what's this? I'm like, right? Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't like subject like geography too.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm an art student through and through. I'm still a student of art because I
Cool.
still love beautifully written novels and all of that. Right.
And I feel like it shows even in your music. And I want to call him the king of Mala. I don't know, because when he will speak in wall of like the deep, it's not the shallow wall of, he'll be speaking deep. I'm like, where did this boy get this? So can you tell us more about that? Like why do you like I love the fact that you're not just focused on English, but you also go to the local language, especially, I love that song, this. I don't know that this. Oh, I love that song,
Okay.
but like why? Like, yes.
I think it's just my environment where I grew up in, because I spent a lot of my time as a child in the church, and that was the Catholic Church. And the Catholic Church is a very deeply rooted church in the local language, right?
Yeah.
So they are very in touch with with the local people. So because of that, as a lecturer, I had to learn how to read in Wolof and stuff like that. So we used to read that Wolof with depth, the pure Wolof. Imagine reading an entire like 2 or 3 chapters of scripture and it's in Wolof, pure Wolof.
Right.
There's no boxing with English or whatever. And I've done that for more than 20 years of my life.
Wow.
So obviously, right? And then I started working with Bible Society. I was the one in charge of the Wolof Bible translation project. And I worked with them for like 4 years. So I was exposed to a lot of, because we had to go sometimes to go into the local places, like go up country, meet the local people, to understand certain words, understand blah blah blah. And I was working with a lot of older guys that are, some of them are actual Wolofs, no Lenyampa, like they would say, and some of them are just like they've spoken Wolof so well. Like one of the guys is he's literally like a linguist, and he studied Wolof in the University of Cheikh Anta Diop in Senegal. He's the lead translator, and he's like one of my closest.
Okay.
Right there. Okay. So I had access to all of that. So that shaped my Wolof a lot also subconsciously. So sometimes I might not even speak Wolof as well when I'm talking. But once I'm writing it, the purity in the Wolof just activates. So
right. Come for your Wolof classes. But he's a very busy man. That's the thing. Right. Let's talk about media. Why media? Why? Yes, you're an art student. But why the love? Because I feel like you are not just any photographer. You are not just any videographer. Anytime you're taking shots, it's different. Like we see the final product, we see it, and we see the intentionality, we see the passion in it. So why media?
Well, I just loved media from even when I was in school. I used to tell my guys, "I'm the Maneka journalist, the Maneka," and But then as a kid, how do I put this? Sometimes, yeah, your desire and the depth of your desire. Not sometimes, a lot of times, the depth of your desire is determined by the information you are exposed to per time, right? So that time, what everything I knew about journalism was presenting in the news or reporting on radio. So I wanted to be a news presenter or reporter. Right. But my granddad would not have it because he would not let me kill myself, quote unquote. Jammeh was president and all of that, right? But when Jammeh left, anyways, he wanted me to be an architect. So at some point, he convinced me to get the form from GTTI and all of that after high school. And I just felt like I was doing myself a huge disservice. So I tore the form. Wow. And he was so annoyed. He was very pissed that he felt like I wasted his money. because he gave me transport, he gave me money to buy the phone, and blah blah blah. So he was like, I'm washing my hands of anything that has to do with school for you. So I'm not paying for your school. I don't care what you do. It's up to you. If you want to do this architectural draftsmanship course again, I might consider it and pay for it. But any other thing, I'm not interested. They also tried to get me into teaching, but no, I refused. So, like I said, I used to read in church and all of that. So one day, let me just cut the story short. One day, Father Peter came to church, Father Peter Lopez, the director at GPI. And after church, he was like, "Oh, I love the way you read, especially today, the way you embodied the scripture that we were reading was amazing, blah, blah, blah. What are you doing?" and stuff. So I explained to him, blah, blah, blah. The father does not want me to do this. But this is what I want to do. And he was like, "Oh, but you can be a journalist without getting into politics and stuff like that." Anyways, come to my office and meet me. Wow. So I went home and told my granddad, "Oh, I met Father Peter. He loves the way." And I already knew Father Peter. We all knew him because we used to enjoy him on radio. And he was like, "I can meet him." So because it's Father, obviously. Right. So I was like, "Okay, you can go." So I went and met Father, and he was like, "Okay, since this is what you want to do, I'm organizing this training for my staff, and I'm getting sourcing some people outside to come and train them. Come and attend the training, and then we'll see your performance." So even before the training ended, I think maybe it was because of a recommendation or whatever. He was like, "We're going to retain you. So when we start the year proper, that was September. The year starts for the Catholic Church sometime around then. Yeah. September, October, November. But for GPI, it starts in September. We call you up and you can come." And then, sometime in August like that, he said to me, "You can come in first day of September, first Monday of September." It was 2015, I think. Okay. Right. So I started there as an intern, and then with time I realized that no, this is not what I want to do. This presenter thing, reporting thing is not what I want to do. I want to be able to influence what is happening on screen without being seen. Right, in terms of media. So with time, I just diverted into being a producer. So I was producing the radio programs for a couple of years. Okay. And I became a videographer and editor too. So I was working in both departments. Yeah, and all of that. So that's just how I got into that part of media. And until now, I think even now I've lost that part of me. I mean, I was good at it too. People liked it. People liked the way I used to present and all of that. I was on the Catholic the only Catholic TV show then, week in, week out on GRTS. Every week I was there, but then something was just missing. I just wanted to be able to influence what is happening on screen without being on screen. So that is how I just pivoted into videography, photography, and producing podcasts and video shows and stuff. So here I am now. Wow. Right. I feel like there's so much in your story, and even as you're explaining, we're also seeing the importance of mentorship, because with this younger generation, some are so lost, sometimes we don't even know what we're doing. Sometimes maybe we know our passion, but we don't even actually know the direction to take. And I feel like Father Peter and even your grandpa as well, they play the role in just guiding and directing you to do certain things, because sometimes it's when we are in that space that we begin to discover even more, beyond our imagination. So I feel like even for young people out there, like, just grabbing the opportunity of mentorship, I feel like we need it in this generation. I feel like I should just chip this in that I think what he was doing, basically, he was just trying to protect me, right? Because of everything that was happening then, with the journalist and all of that. He was just trying to protect. He was just trying to be a protective parent. But you would see that when I got into GPI and I started doing really well, he became a really huge part of my success. He was really supportive. And, sometimes before I became like a staff there, he would say, like, but this 500, I don't know, pass, and things like that. He became really supportive. And Father Peter also became really supportive. He influenced me getting into school to actually study journalism at the Media Academy for Journalism and Communication. Okay. And all of that. I don't know if I would go for a degree in journalism. I don't know. I don't know if I ever would. But then, I mean, all those encouragements came from
him.
home and him too. And he would still want me to go to the university to be
Right.
I ever would. But yeah, I think I needed to add that there. He didn't just stop, at the point of discouraging me. When he realized and he understood better, it became a huge part of my story. And he would tell Kima Francis Lansan, look what they did.
Right, he's the one blowing your trumpet.
Sunday magazine, mom, like he would tell all his friends, and he was really proud of me. So
right.
Yeah.
Wow. So let's talk about, like, have you faced any challenge? I know you say you are also a shy person, but have you ever encountered maybe low self-esteem, growing up, or self-doubt, not believing? Probably you also had discouragement, whilst going into your journey. Have there been moments like that, and how did you tackle that?
So I don't know if this will sound like pride, right? But I don't think right, like through and through there has been an explicit moment that I can pinpoint to say that, oh, I have low self-esteem. Yeah, like I think my biggest strength as a person is the fact that I spend a lot of time with myself.
Okay.
Biggest secret. Spend
Okay.
time with yourself.
Right.
Right. So when I say spending time with yourself, it's beyond just sitting alone. Sometimes it can mean even just being silent and listening to God and communing with Him. He helps you to go through a lot of things, right? But I have a lot of self-doubt that comes, but most of those battles are won even before I step out.
Okay.
Right. And I feel like that is because I give God the space to help me through it. And the stubbornness that was not channeled properly as a child is now channeled in. I like to dare myself a lot, so I can't. To be honest, I don't think I don't have self-esteem. Yeah, once I make up my mind that this is what I want to do, I'll go, despite the fact that I might be shy. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So please, we need the key word was spend time with yourself. Then you get to discover more.
Once you know yourself, right? I feel like you just move differently. The moment you get to know who you are, you just move differently, and it will come in layers. But for me, one of the most important points where a huge layer was peeled out in terms of me knowing myself was around lockdown in 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a very instrumental moment, even for music. And if you've been following my journey from when I started to now, you realize that there was a huge turnaround around that time, around that after COVID time, and all of that happened during that COVID break. If we can go back to COVID,
Right.
you guys don't beat me, right? If we can go back to COVID, right? I'm not gonna complain because I had a lot of time to spend time with myself, and it was amazing.
And I feel that is scary for some people, because I for one is, I can remember when I was not used to being alone with myself, I always want to attach myself to people. I always want to be in the ambience. But I can remember a huge turnaround happened when my best friend, Caroline Johnson, when she got married to my cousin. That it felt like I had a heartbreak. Like I'm not kidding,
No,
guys. Like I actually
friendship
had
heartbreaks are actually a thing.
serious, like it's a thing. I had a heartbreak. Like it was really hard for me to move from that point. Like to really, I'm like, so who am I gonna share my story with? Who am I going to be gisting with? How am I now? I cannot be visiting her all the time because she also needs her privacy and everything. But I feel like later on, just me being in the house, now everybody is gone, so I'm the only one there with my auntie and uncle. But just being there now, it's like I'm so used to my room. They actually will beg me, leave your room and come sit with the people.
That's literally me. Literally me when I don't have much to do. In fact, even when I have much to do, like I just prefer being home. Once one person steps into the house, I might not do what I have to do. I might just pack the work and just give you my attention.
Right.
But when I'm doing work, my work is all based on creativity. When I want to create, I just want to be alone. So even when I am in a crowded place, I can be alone.
Okay.
Right. But when I mean being alone, is when nobody's engaging me and it's just me.
You can
right?
enjoy your own company.
No, I enjoy my company like
Right,
mad.
all
Like
that
they say, yeah. And in practicing that, right, I used to even take myself out, like just go out and
Come
just
on,
buy food
let us
and just
normalize going on
yeah,
a
just
solo
go
date.
out, buy food and just chill. And I used to go to the beach too a lot and just sit down and spend time with myself until something crazy happened sometime in 2019 or so with all these people that attack people in the beach. And that
Right.
is when I really reduced
Reduced
that
it.
drastically. But I used to just go to the beach and spend time. And I'll buy popcorn, buy Pringles is my thing. Buy
Oh,
Don
wow.
Simon. I'm at the beach and I'm chilling and a lot happens, man, in those moments. Right.
Wow.
It's recommended for clear skin. Please spend time with yourself.
Spend time with I would recommend, because then you get to discover yourself, you get to know what you like, you don't like, or it shows you if you were shrinking just to fit in or you were really being yourself.
Right.
So do that. I want to, talk about relationship now, because I need to touch on this because he is a fine young man, isn't he, guys? He is a fine young man.
Well,
and I'm sure, especially for gospel artists, young gospel artists, we see this thing where, we are just ladies now. Some ladies will be crushing on our leave our ministers alone so that they can serve us well. But anyways, let's talk about relationship,
right.
So that we clear the air.
Right.
So that nobody, please leave this young man alone, because I know that he is not single.
Right.
Right. But let's talk about how do you navigate even the relationship and also, having a lot of attention, from outsiders, that want to. And there are some of my gender that we are very dangerous. Some of us, they can actually push themselves. Like, how do you deal with those kind of situations?
First of all, it's by the help of God. Right. But the truth is, right, I'm just going to come out plain. I've not had like a perfect journey. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
But I've been helped by God a lot.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember when we were having the pre-podcast chat, I told you that there's no secret. The only secret, God already said it. He said, run, flee.
Right.
That is the only secret. Right. So I'm in a relationship, a very serious relationship. Obviously.
Serious.
Yes.
I like you.
Everybody knows that. And I think in terms of navigating, one of the things that helps me a lot is the fact that I have a partner that understands the scope of what I do. Right. It used to be a problem when we started. Right. She's a very jealous person.
I wanted to say,
yes.
What is happening? Well,
she's a very, very jealous person.
Okay.
But I had to make her understand.
Okay.
Right. And so I think one of the things that helped us also is just transparency. And because of that transparency, I've been able to work with her to a point where she can trust me. Right? Where she does not think twice about me, you understand? Because we've had a serious problem. And when we even started, some crazy things happened. But I had to sit her down at one point and say, hey, this is what happened. This and this and this is what happened. And yeah, we had our ups and downs in that moment, but she got to understand it. And there was a point in our relationship when we had to take a break. Okay. And we took a break from, I don't know if I have permission to say this, but I just want you guys to understand. Right? For a very long time, more than a year. And she didn't go out to hear that, oh, Francis Lance is doing this and that with this person, right. And when we sat back to get back together, when we were talking, one of the things I told her is that I've had a million chances to move on onto another relationship. So maybe God when it was happening in the beginning, we didn't really see all of this.
Right. In hindsight,
I was telling her maybe God wanted us to get through this season for both of us to understand each other. Because if I was free, right, to have another relationship. Right. So if I was trying to move on from you and get in another relationship, I had the chance to do it. So that helped us a lot. So now we understand each other a lot. I know sometimes she still feels somehow, but now she has a huge understanding of what I do, and there's no pressure. I try to fill her in with whatever is happening. Oh, rehearsing for this and this and this is what's happening. So I just try to
communication,
give her constant updates to make her be at ease, because I also understand. I don't want to just use she's understanding
exactly
to stress her. You understand?
Come on.
Yeah. So I try to just feel her constantly with what is happening, and there's a lot of pressure. I'm not going to lie.
Because it's a public figure. What are you saying?
One thing that will help you, one thing that will help you a lot is to be able to define your relationships even before it starts. Yeah, once Marina reaches out, oh, Marina's my sister. That's how I see you. Right. So I'm not gonna I cannot have you with my sister. We're not going to get to certain points. And sometimes when she looks at my phone, I'm like, look at all these unread messages. What is wrong with you? You should reply to all those guys. I'm like, trust me, you don't want me to reply to all of these guys. So you just need to so people confuse some things. There are two things that people confuse a lot, right? Being accessible is different from being available.
Okay, teach us now.
Right? So I don't ever want to be in a place where nobody can reach me.
Okay.
Right. So when I go out to minister, any boy, any young girl, any boy can reach out to me. Yo, Francis, and I'm like, yo, I'm cool. We can give each other. But would you have my number? I don't know. There has to be a good reason. Right? If you have my number too, maybe from someone, I most likely will not ask you, oh, where did you get my number from? But would you be able to have a conversation with you? I don't know. It depends. If you can state why you want us to talk, right? But I have people that I can chat with all the time. I have people that can text me, and if I see it and I'm not doing something, I'm going to reply immediately. I have messages that I can reply immediately, and messages that I'm like, now this has to be. You just have to structure your life, basically. I think one of the people that has helped me a lot as a mentor in my life in that area is Pastor Roland Bangura of Silga Saints in Light. He's one of the people that I work for in terms of his podcast production, and through that we had a really great relationship. And he shares a lot of wisdom with me. And one of the things he has helped me to do is to be able to manage my time, manage my relationships, and just know how do I now put this? Let me just take my time.
How to put boundaries. Right?
Just know how everybody can touch you without getting into you. Right? Not everybody, right, everybody can touch me, but not everybody can get into me. So you just need to know how to be able to manage that. And it's by the help of God. Sometimes, another thing also that is very important is you should be able to, and it comes down to spending time with yourself. You should be able to sit down depends on you, every maybe 2 weeks, every 1 month, every 3 months, to think, oh, what am I really doing? This person that I'm talking with, we really need to have to be talking this person. You understand? So just be evaluating your decisions all the time, and if you are brutally honest with yourself, you save yourself from a lot of trouble. But if you like to coerce yourself, you just keep finding yourself in trouble. It does not mean I've not found myself in trouble. I'm not, right? All of that. We are all trying to become like Jesus every day. We're trying to be better every day. But these things just help, man.
And I feel like those points are so good, especially for young gospel artists out there. Sometimes the fame and everything can just carry you along, and it might also put you into trouble if you don't put these boundaries around you.
One of the people that played a very important role in my life, especially when I just started, was Apostle Samuel Kumi. And I used to ask her, sometimes I would just ask her random questions all the time. And there was this time, I just released a certain song that I like to tell people that is a song that God used to announce me to people of Gambia, blessings rain. And I had a lot of attention that particular year. And one time we were just having a conversation, and I was asking for advice on certain things. And he said to me, Lance, that's how he calls Lance. Lance, I'm going to tell you this thing. This is like one of the biggest secrets of my ministry. And I'm sharing his biggest secret of ministry out here now, because I feel like for every young minister that is listening, this is important. He said to me that the forces in this country that are following people in ministry or people that God wants to do great things with in this land, they just use two things: money or the opposite sex. And we had, it was a very deep conversation, but let me just cut it there.
Yeah.
Right? Those are two very important things. And this, I'm saying this as someone that has gone outside Gambia and came back. And I'll tell you this, right? There is a crazy influence of lust in this country. And it's not even normal.
Yes.
Right? It's not even normal. Like there's a very, very crazy influence. And if you look at the lives of a lot of young ministers, there, if it's not about that, it's the fact that they are in a very embarrassing state of lack. What is that? Money. And lack of money can even make you, lack of the proper resources that you need in a certain state can make you make decisions that would, you know what we are doing. God, our God is loving and He's forgiving. He's going to forgive you anytime you run back to Him. But human beings are not God. He will not forget. Right? Yeah. So God can forgive you, but you might lose your ministry because of just one mistake that people will get to know. That is just how it is. So Scripture said it. One of the most important things you should guard is your name. That good name. If you lose it, it's over. God can forgive you, but people know once you hold that mic, once you are on that flyer, they're like, is this not that Francis Lance that I saw?
They'll go back to your story.
Is this not that Francis Lance that stole that money that day? Keep me up.
Right,
you understand? Look at all these people are singing his TikTok song, bro. Is this not the one that was doing it with that sister? You understand? And it just grows from one person to 10 people to 500 people to, and if you keep doing it, by the time you know, everybody will know that this is what is going on, except you. In your mind, you feel like nobody knows what's going on. So that's it. So just guard those two things. How do you guard it? Keep running, build boundaries, and find someone also. This is important that you can talk to always. Someone that
accountable.
Pastor Ryan is someone that I can text and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I actually did it." Like last week, did it. I'm like, yeah, I actually did this. So, and he'd be like, yeah, but God still loves you. Just repent. But you have to be careful. We have to, you understand?
Confess your sins.
You need to find that one person that you can be, because, man, I'm telling you this out of experience. The devil enjoys it when you are doing it in secret.
Yeah.
When nobody knows, when you have not opened up, that's what the devil likes. And if you are enjoying it, just know he's destroying it.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Like there is so much to say, you know.
Yeah, sometimes me too, I over explain.
No, but it's good. Like we're enjoying everything. I feel like people need to hear these things, you know. People really, especially for the young people, we really need to hear this. And for the accountability partner, for that person that you can go to, it's key, you know, to guide you, to help you. Because
please don't go to your friend. When I
say
don't go
exactly,
to your friend.
don't go to, because all of you are in the same mindset.
Either an older person or someone that you give so much respect and authority to.
Yes,
right? It's not even about age. It's someone that you have given authority over your life. Someone that you can talk to, and they can rebuke you, and you might be angry, but you still know that they are putting sense in you.
True. So what would you say is, should I say one or two things that you dislike, like it's a no for you, like if that happens you're like, you will not find Francis Lance there.
Two things I dislike. This is hard.
If you have more, let's
two
or three.
Two things I know I dislike a lot of things now.
Okay.
I dislike. I don't know. Maybe I should say one thing that I'm very scared of.
Okay.
Right? One thing that I'm very scared of is I don't want to ever be in a place where something great is happening in my life, and I actually feel like it's because of the time that I'm putting in. It's because of the amount of publicity that I'm doing. It's because of I'm a great songwriter.
Right.
I don't want to ever get to the place where what is happening in my life, I can actually dig into my life and realize that, oh, it's because of this thing that I'm doing. That is why this great thing is happening in my life. Yeah, that's my biggest fear. I don't want to ever be in a place where I attribute a win to myself, or yeah, a success to myself, because I know there's a scripture that says, "I'm the vine and you are the branches," right? And it says, "Cut off from me, and you are nothing." So it's not about the work that you put in. Trust me, even if the person is an atheist, right? It's because of the systems that God has placed in this place. Right? Any hard worker that you see in any field, there's someone doing 10 times better than him that nobody knows, that is not successful, that is very poor, that is right now trekking. The person that is successful is because of God. Because of God. So the fact that Big Motion was filled is not because I can publicize. It's not because I'm in media. That's why. It's not because 10 people did videos even. Those 10 people that did videos, it was because God actually laid it in their hearts, right? Our hearts are like, they are like, you see a ship, right? It has one little thing that moves it. No matter how big the ship is, just one small thing. That's how our hearts are like in God's hands, right? So every success that happens in your life is because God actually wants it to happen. It's not because of one single thing that you have done. I'm not telling you to just rest on this thing and just chill.
Right.
Just work.
Do your own part.
But for your work to become a success, it's because God has poured His blessing on it, right? And I don't want to ever be in a place that I will outgrow this fact.
Right. Yeah. You're just full of yourself and think that it's all about you.
I don't want to ever outgrow this fact.
Yeah. What are the things you like?
What are the things I like? Oh, I like spending time with myself. I like reading a lot. I like reading a lot. I like reading a lot. When I'm not reading and I'm not working, I just want to be home, man. And I want to listen to music. I like helping, you know, other people too. It's unfortunate that I don't get to have that much of time now.
Yes.
And maybe because a huge part of that is also because I'm helping people too, right? Because I'm not only working in Gambia, right? I'm working for a music business firm in Nigeria.
Come on.
And like there are so many talents that are assigned to me that I work with, that I try to help to develop. And it does not even give me much time for myself. So if I'm not working at State of Mind doing media stuff, or I'm not busy doing songwriting, I'm not playing. I have a project at Lamb Culture, right? That I'm trying to make work. I'm trying to get a certain beat for a certain artist because we feel like this would be the best. I didn't have people to do that for me when I was at their age, but we have new talents coming out. If you notice, if you watch my studio, you see me post a lot of strange faces that you don't know. They're all from Nigeria, and there's a lot of crazy talent there. People that are serious, right? And we have structures, we have things that are working on. I'm praying for the day that we'll get to the point that we can implement those things in Gambia. I've tried a few trials and it didn't really work out. But yeah, one of the things I love like crazily is even when I retire, I want to spend my time just helping. Younger guys, because we didn't have that. We had to figure out where the studio is. We had to figure out how to get proper beats. We had to figure out how to distribute music properly. I remember the first time I tried to distribute my music, it was rejected. I nearly ran mad. All my guys were laughing at me. I went to sit down on the internet to research what videos upon videos and videos. You understand? And there was this guy that had a distribution something in Gambia here. And I tried to distribute my music, and it was like, we don't distribute faith-based music. I'm like, bro, just tell me the truth. Say I don't distribute Christian music because it's not Christian, right? So I was like, this is good. I'm going to be the last person that this is going to happen to, right? And we went all out to make the research to know how to distribute. And I'm glad that we've been able to help a lot of people. Like anytime, one of my biggest joys, apart from making music and serving God, is to be able to help other creatives. Me personally, it helps me a lot. Helping other creatives. I remember.
I just wanted to touch on.
Yes, there was this time on Twitter, right, that I was going through because I was struggling with something, right. I spend a lot of time on Twitter too. It's like my favorite social media because I just get to read, right. But with other social media, you're just scrolling through somebody dancing. I'm like, I just want to. So Twitter is my favorite. And I saw this tweet by Pastor Aaron, right. I'm not going to say it word for word. I can actually pull it out of my phone, but I'm not going to say it word for word. The entire concept of that tweet is that whenever you find yourself, right, feeling resentful towards someone or having some hatred or something, just pray for them, one, and do for them something, right? If you cannot do for them that something that you want for yourself, pray for them to have something that you yourself want. Like, and make sure it's not just a 2-minute prayer or 1 day's prayer. Make them your project for the next 30 days or something. That has personally helped me a lot. Right? I have a minister. I like to call him my covenant brother. We pray together a lot. And Cedric. Ricky. And there was this time I was going through this and I shared it with him. And I was like, man, this is amazing. And I was like, this is what I want to do. And we would pray together every day, like every night, pray together. And not one single prayer point is about us. Even when we are doing repentance, we are doing it for other ministers, right, in the land, and we will try to call every person that God can put in our mind. That God used that season to deposit a lot of love for other people in my heart, and I'm not even saying this to impress anybody. Like anything that I wish for myself, I wish it for other ministers here. Like any good opportunity I see, I share it with the boys. They can all tell you, and so yeah.
And
I had to share that because Marina loved it when we were having the
because and what he's talking about is the point the question I wanted to put across is, with this level of, is it fame or the space that you are in, because you are a celebrity, like it or not, but it comes with a lot of jealousy sometimes, so that's what he's talking about. Like, how do young people, even with myself, all of us in our different walks of life, we sometimes go through a space where we're jealous of the next person, or you're just like uncomfortable, you're like, how do I now? So when you have that in you, how do you handle it? I can remember there was a time, I was going through that, and I spoke to Kumbel, and she told me, next time you have this, just pray for the person. She was like, pray for the person, pray everything good for this person. And anytime I sense a spirit of jealousy or anything, I begin to say, Lord, I pray for I begin to speak good things, so that's what Francis Land is talking. And when Francis Land says that he has impacted, he has helped myself sitting here, about this podcast, I think I reached out to him also about it. But that season of his life, he wanted to focus more on himself, because I feel like he has been pouring out on other people and focusing on other people and forgetting his own project. So when he told me, I respected it. But even at that, he helped me record, with his phone. At that time, he was a Bible Society. The video that everybody was like, where did you get this man? This thing is clear. It was his phone that he was like, and he helped me, even though he was busy. So, like, that is such a great testament. I'm not going to lie. He's not even bragging. It's the truth. And I love the fact that you are not, you are not greedy with what you have. You are not greedy with the opportunity. And I feel like that's where abundance flow. Because sometimes when we're like just me, you get stuck. You're not flowing. You are not becoming a well. You're just going to be a stagnant water. But when you begin to share, there is more that is coming to you. So I love that fact.
I think right. I think that particular thing is something that also God uses to. It is something that God uses, right, to be able to help you kill certain desires that do not align with where He wants your heart to be. Because me, right, I'm not going to lie to you. I really wanted to be like a global Afro gospel artist.
Yes, let's go there.
And all of that, right? I remember, so I had this thing that was going with my friend Paul. We used to be a duo. So not like an actual official duo, but we used to do a lot of things together, including concerts and all that. And when we got to the end of that project, we were talking about what we could do for the space. And I'm like, bro, I would do that, right? This was sometime in 2019, 2020. I'm like, I'm going to do that sometime later. Right now, man, I just want to pour all of this energy in myself. And I'm trying to, I can already see that I'm at the brink of getting onto outside of this place, right? Because of certain relationships that I had outside the industry and stuff like that. And I was so focused on myself and my growth and all of that. And I would hoard information and all of that. And God took those relationships away.
Like he had to break you.
Like sometimes I still sit down and I'm like, how did I really miss it and all of that? And sometimes even till today, I feel like sometimes reaching out to those people, and I would hear that, bro, don't try that.
Don't try it.
Right? God help me, and I'm not even bragging, right? I don't see. I'm at a place where I don't really see myself trying to be a global superstar or whatever, because that season, right, that I was telling you, is a season that God used to give me a whole different vision. He was like, this is what I actually want for you. And immediately he succeeded, because you cannot be the referee. You cannot be the one to measure the gauge for yourself, to say, oh, this is where my desires are. You don't know your desires more than God. Right? So sometimes you might feel, I'm not proud, but you're actually proud. Or, I don't want this anymore and do this, but it's just lip service. God knows. When God was convinced that this boy does not really want this thing anymore, right? He started giving me, and bro, I don't even want these things anymore. Like, and I'm not even lying. I'm not even chasing numbers anymore or whatever. And I'm telling you, I used to be obsessed with numbers. I had all the apps that had like my data, because I'm a very data driven person. I understand my data. I understand my audience. I know who exactly loves my music, who exactly does not love my music, the kind of people that love my music. So every music I put out is very intentional, because I know the kind of people that listen to my music, their age group, which countries they're from, and all of that. And in a day, I would open those apps more than 3, 4, 5 times in a day. I was so obsessed with just being able to shoot this thing out of this place. And one season, I don't even understand. One day, I just deleted all the apps, right, and all of that. And I was talking with my A&R in Nigeria when I was working on the skeleton of my album, my debut album, and I was like, bro, this is the leading I have, for the project. This is what I think you should do. And I was like, this is what God is telling me. And then we started doing more local sounds. And I know what that, do you know what that means for my data at that time? That means that I'm going to be losing the audience that I had, because my audience was majorly in the UK. Like, people did not stream my music in Gambia that much, but most of my streams were coming from UK and a little bit of it from Nigeria and US. But that was where my major audience was, because I was doing like proper Afro that they were enjoying, and I was speaking a lot of Creole, which is very close to Pidgin, and then English, you understand? And it was just little sprinkles of Wolof at that time. And I was very intentional about it. I even started losing the Wolof from my music. You understand? Just because of that thing that I was chasing, and I was so focused on that thing. But when God was done with me, like, I don't know how he used that season to turn everything around. And now, I'm not going to lie to you, what I want to see by the next 5, 10 years is the fact that we can have a vibrant gospel scene, an actual industry. When I mean an industry, I'm not just talking about artists. I'm talking about younger guys that are producers in the country. I'm working with producers outside the country. We have helped to shape producers outside the country, right? One of my mentees did my last 2 songs. The one I did with Zahid and Danny, the Christmas song. So me that Benaji.
Yes, come on.
Right? That one, it was done by one of my mentees in Nigeria. And In Charge was also produced by him, co-produced with J Life Music. You understand? We are doing those things for people outside of this place. And if we have people that are willing to do the work in this country, we'll go hard and go all out with them. You understand what I'm saying? But for me, what I just want to see is that we can take Gambian music to the place where, Gambian gospel to the place where we have structures, and we have, you understand, a proper structure for the industry. I'm not trying to be a global superstar or anything anymore. And now is when the numbers are coming. And right. I remember when we were releasing CGMO, even this was a shocker to all of us. because we list snippet and boom, the song.
Everything is gone. Like
CGMO, right? I was with my beloved. I was with Priscilla.
Come on
the
now.
day before, right? And I was like, this song is coming out here. I don't think the song will do it. This song, I don't even like it like that. But you know, I promised people that I'm gonna put a song out that month. So let's just put it out. And everybody loves CGMO. I was telling you the other day that I was checking CGMO a week before. Big Motion, and it was around 600 and something videos on TikTok. And just last week I checked and it's over 1,004 something videos. I'm like, where is this going to? Where are these people? You know, people were reaching out that, oh, my friend in Mandawar. And I'm like, bro, I don't know Mandawar. I don't know. But it's just God. And when he wants to take you somewhere, trust me, he's going to make sure he kill that out of your desires, first of all. So allow God to work on you. He understands you better than you. He understands the desires he wants to set in your heart better than you. And once he has that right, God, he's a loving father. He's not going to take anything away from you. Yeah. If it is something that is good for you, he'll let you have it.
And I love that. Even as we round up now, that I'll ask you to, you know, what words you're going to tell gospel artists out there, or even any young minister out there.
You're touching my desires.
No, because
I'm very passionate about it, so I might just talk
exactly.
and talk. No, you see the way I'm talking now,
you know, so. I feel like this is a great episode. But because when you were saying, all I was saying is, you know, sometimes when we are fixed, like we put our desires or our plans and we are just so obsessed about, you know, getting rich and being famous and having all that, it's like we have now made those things gods, you know, in our lives. And I feel like that was what God did. He had to make sure that those altars that you have already built, those gods that you have been idolizing, he had to put it down, crush it, and then now so that you can worship him and put him at the center. And I feel like that's where you are, that now you're not even there obsessing, checking, you know, it's putting you in that cell. Like
now it's people that tell me what is happening,
you know. You see, you don't have that time. People will tell you, you know, because now the moment you have removed those idols, God is saying, okay, now he's ready. Now I can walk. He's now trusting you that even when he takes you higher, you're not going to allow those fame, you know, to take the place of God. And I feel like
I think one of the things, before you ask your question, that God actually also used to make me get to because I'm a very obsessive overthinker, you understand? So I overthink every single point of if I want to do something, right? This is what I'm going to do, and then this is going to happen, and that, and then I'll do this, or this might happen if this happens. That's how I plan things, right? I'm very meticulous. You can ask my close friends. Like, I'm very meticulous with my planning, right? But I think one of the things that God used, right, to make me get to trust Him more, to help me to trust Him more, was Big Motion. Because Big Motion just came out of nowhere. We were just going to do a simple concert. We're trying to target 150 people in one small hall, get small money and move. And God was like, bro, I don't want you to do a ticketed concert. This is what I want you to do. It's going to be an outdoor concert. And I saw a picture of exactly what was going to happen. The first Big Motion. And it was crazy faith. We went with it. I remember everybody in the team was questioning me. Even Chris, my manager, then was like, bro, are you sure this one? You're not taking ticket. You are see the way you are broke. You are right. You have put all your money. I was like, but this is what God wants us to do. And by the time, one thing I also love was the fact that Chris is a very spiritual person. So I'm able to connect with him on that level. When he was getting when he was getting to that point, he just started to understand, and he was like, bro, thank you for being obedient and all of that. Because this is actually God. And so I keep telling even my team and all of that, we are going to do what we have to do, but trust me, it's not because we are putting content out. That's why people will come to Big Motion or whatever. It's because we are being obedient. Any day he says, do it this way, and I fail to do it, trust me, you guys will come and you meet only 2 people. I know that because he's not in it. So
come on.
Yeah.
Okay, Francis Lance. Wow, this is
but yeah.
This is I am blessed. I am blessed. So yes, just
advice to younger guys.
Just close us.
Advice to young ministers. My advice to young ministers. So first of all, right, I think yeah, no problem. So first of all, right, I think we are very relaxed in Gambia. And I'm saying this as someone who has seen the amount of seriousness and diligence that other people outside the Gambia put into their craft in terms of when we're talking about the gospel industry.
Yeah.
We are very, very relaxed. And we have a lot of lazy young people.
Talk to us.
So we have a very like I've conversed with a lot of artists, right, outside Gambia, and let's say maybe I've spoken to like 20, for instance. I'm just giving an example. It's more than that. But let's say I've spoken to 20, right? Maybe 18 of them, they either know how to produce, mix and master their song, and distribute it, or at least do one of those. In Gambia, right? Maybe apart from the ones that are active now, and even with those people, some people don't know how to do some of these things, right? We don't most of the upcoming guys, they don't even know how to do proper distribution. They don't understand the music business. They don't know how to mix and master their own track. There are a few of them like Krizo. Shout out to Krizo. He records and produces his own music. That's amazing, right? He's the only one that I know that is an artist that is doing that. Okay, and Casey Dobie, right? But we need guys that want to be diligent in this. God is not going to, let me just tell you, I'm just telling you, anywhere you're trying to see yourself, God is not going to take you there if you don't put the work in. If you like, go to bed and after praying, dream about it 10 times. If you don't put the work in, you're not going anywhere. And because you are not, don't see Gambia, right? See the globe. There's a standard. God is dealing with the globe itself. So there's a standard. If you don't reach a standard for something, He's not going to take you there because He loves you. It's not because of anything.
Wow.
So let's leave the laziness aside. The next thing is if you are doing gospel music in Gambia and you're trying to get money or get famous, stop. Because you'll not get famous. I've been doing this for 10 years, bro. 10 years, 10 whole years, a whole decade. Since the first time I put a track out. And it's not like I've been very consistent, back to back, putting out music. And people don't even know me. Like, there are still people who don't know me. And the Gambian church is not that big. I still go in. You understand? It's just now that it is better. And there are other people that have been doing it for 4 or 5 years. People don't even know that. We are not even having streams. The streams that we have in Gambia is a joke compared to even some of the people whose tracks I'm A&Ring outside the country. Right? So if you're doing it for fame, forget about it. That fame is only God that will give it to you when He wants to give it to you. Let it be. Do this thing because this is what God wants you to do, one, and because you want to serve, two. If you are trying to do it because you want to be rich, money not there. I've done it for 10 years. It's just been me pouring my money out. I've never made like money out of music, literally. When I say money out of music is, making money is like when you have put in 10,000 and you have 12,000. That's you have made money. So I've never made money out of music, and I've been doing it for a decade. So if money is your goal, forget it. If fame is your goal, you'll not be famous. You might just have 2, 3 girls that will suck your anointing away. So thank you.
Wow.
So that's just what it is, right?
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Amazing. This has been amazing. This has been amazing.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too.
Right.
I don't know how you succeeded, but you took me to the point that I was open to be able to share. So that's amazing.
And I'm glad that we're able to bring the man behind the camera, because usually they are always people in the media. They're always behind the camera. They never want to.
The only time I get to do this is when I'm doing anything related to music.
Yes, But I'm so glad and honored to have you, and I pray that for our audience out there, that this will minister to them, that this will also show them that no matter what, even the way their birth came about, when you spoke about being a child,
we had a very long
conversation. We had a long conversation.
Right now she's trying to take me to the things that I didn't touch that she wants to hear.
Like, we had a long conversation, and when he was even saying it, I felt like I thought he was coming to say something different. He said, I never said this one. I'm a child out of wedlock. I'm like, we are here, the children out of wedlock. Not like we are jubilating, but like this is us. This is part of our stories. Yes.
God is very intentional about your birth, your background, wherever you were born. Trust me.
Yeah.
Because like I was in a place around that 2019, 2020 time that because of a lot of crazy things that happened, I just wanted to give up. I just wanted to stop all of these things. And one day, in the place of prayer, I don't want to say it was a trance or whatever, but I just know I just lost myself, right? And God literally walked me through all of those monumental moments of my life that made me start questioning, like, if my being here is not even it's not even a mistake. Like, I was literally questioning my existence. Like, does God really want me to even be here and stuff? Because of a lot of crazy things that happened. Like I told you, there was a year that I went on stage and something crazy happened, and a whole hall, like a whole Jama hall, said they didn't want me to minister, and I was on stage.
Wow.
Right. So that was a very pivotal moment, and I thank God for friends like PJ Paul. He was very instrumental in that season. But I just kept thinking, like, bro, is this what God wants? God literally took me in the place of prayer through all of those stages, to the moment, to my childhood. Like, I could vividly remember all of those things, vividly remember every single detail in that moment. And God brought me back and said, bro, like, you're not a mistake.
Come on.
Yeah. I brought you here to do this thing. This gospel music that you're doing is not even a mistake because of this. So I know who exactly he has called me to. Like, there are a lot of people that will call me to a corner sometimes and oh, Francis, you've been putting out this type of music. I want you to do, it would be nice if you can do this kind of music.
Way.
Maybe I might get to a point where I might do that type of music, right, in my life. But I know exactly what God wants me to do right now and who he wants me to do it to. And when those people reach out with their testimonies, those are the testimonies that touch me the most, because I know why God wants me to do what I'm doing. And trust me, God has a plan for the young people of this country, right? Because there are a lot of people that are going through a lot of crazy, crazy things, and he's going to use Afro gospel to deliver a lot of young people in this country. Trust me. I wish we had time to talk about that.
But
yeah.
Wow. We'll have to close this. Else we'll go on and on. But I just want to encourage you again that you are not a mistake. That God still loves you. God still has a plan and purpose for you, and they are good and not evil. So don't look down on yourself. Don't think that me, the way I was born, my family, I'm coming from a poor background, or this, I can never get to where Francis. See, that's why we started from his childhood, so you get to know this glamour that you're seeing, this finished product. It's not even finished. It's still a working product, but him that you're seeing right now, it did not start, it was not a one-day thing. It was a process, every day, gradual growing, on learning things, and becoming this young man. So don't give up. Your story also matters. And this is Talk with Ebun. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you. We love you so much.
Thank you. We love you.
And make sure the next episode you're there also.
Right? Yes. Please like, subscribe, and share, please. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.